One of the reasons that we're here is to get the word out to everyone about what this business has behind the scenes, before the curtain rises, not just everything you see on it, like what goes into it before that happens. The purpose of Black Theater United is to get that out to, underrepresented communities to know that there are actually these kind of careers.
It should be diverse in a manner that any race, religion, color we would be open to. And we are trying to get other people to be open to it. This initiative helps get more people to go to school and learn about lighting because they realize they can get a job.
They can get a job, and it can actually be a career. My name is Lisa Dawn Cave, and I am a founder of Black Theater United. Welcome to Before the Curtain Rises, the Designer Series. It is important to us as we continue to uplift Black lives that we are really articulating the pipelines that are available in every field in our industry. And this initiative will show you all the opportunities that are available in the design field. Now, let's welcome Jules Fisher and Peggy Eisenhauer, multidisciplined lighting designers. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Jules.
Hello.
I'm going to start from the beginning. Where are you from originally?
I was born in Norristown, Pennsylvania, and moved to Pittsburgh when I went to college, and then from college I moved here.
Ah, okay.
Okay. I'm from Nyack, New York, which is just outside of the metropolitan area of New York metropolitan area. And I also went to college in Pittsburgh and then came back to New York right away.
All righty. Is lighting design something you always wanted to do?
When I decided I was wanting to do it, that's when I said, I want to do that. In school, like high school, I was encouraged to be a doctor or a dentist. No one said work in the theater. Mm-hmm. And the school eventually gave me no help. And I worked in a summer stock theater in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. And I said, I want to be a lighting designer. It just hit me one day. Watching I was a gopher at the theater in the round in a tent. And they did 10 musicals a year. And during Carousel, I said, I'd like to do that. I looked up at the lights and I said, I can do that.
Wow. Okay. Peggy?
Well, at first, I was actually groomed to be a concert pianist for many years, from age 5 to 16. But at the same time, I was listening to some popular original cast recordings, and I thought I sort of wanted to tap dance. I was into rhythm. I studied rhythm, and I thought I kind of wanted to tap dance. So for some reason, I started to hang around a local theater. And at one point, the grown-up didn't show up to do the lighting. Amateur theater, it's all free. And so I was stuck behind the lighting console, didn't know what I was doing. But in some kind of way, it felt like playing the piano to me. It had a feeling of like the tension and the bloom of light felt like playing with the pedal, which at that point I had started to do. Mm-hmm. So at age 13, I started to get interested in lighting. And then at age 15, I did my first lighting design.
Okay. So you both have interesting stories of how you came into lighting design. Did you know that it can actually be a career?
Well, I would say that I only knew that it could be a college track. I didn't know about a career, but I wanted to study the arts. Mm-hmm. And I was the youngest of 4. And my parents said, okay, you're going to do whatever you're going to do. And so I pursued a university career after seeing Jules's shows in New York and deciding maybe I would go where he went.
Ah, okay. And Jules, did you know that lighting design could be a career?
I don't think so. I wasn't focused on careers. I was an average high school student, but I didn't care much about the future. And I was told be a doctor or be a dentist, a professional.
Did either of you have mentors along the way when you realized, okay, this is what I want to do?
I had a couple mentors. I never worked for anyone. I was never an assistant to a lighting designer, so I didn't know the rules in any way. But I had a man by the name of Edward Cook, who, when I met, a very smart businessman, but he owned the biggest lighting company called Century Lighting at that time. It's since been bought by many other companies. And he saw the first thing I did in New York. He called me one day and said, "I'd like to meet you. Get here." Right. Okay. And he did. He took care of me. He watched over. He recommended me to people, and he was influential. I don't think it's a mentor, but the mentoring I would have gotten is watching Broadway shows. I saw everything that Gene Rosenthal did, and I inched my way up. First working off Broadway, then off Broadway, then finally Broadway, and I branched out into lighting buildings and all kinds of other things, which is what goes on in this office. But that was the moment, so I did.
And Peggy, I saw you go like this towards Jules.
Okay, well, so, I mean, just to go back for 1 second, one of the first Broadway shows I saw at the age of 13 was Pippin, that was directed and choreographed by Bob Fosse and lit by Jules Fisher. And there was this moment, and I had already been studying, doing amateur lighting stuff, helping out and looking at lighting. And, Ben Vereen, he pops out from the proscenium, white gloves, bowler hat, spotlight hits him, like, pow, like a purple spotlight hits him. And I just said, like, I went off my seat and knew, and because I lived in the New York area and my parents were in tune with what was going on, they said I said, oh my God, I saw this thing, and the lighting. And they said, brought me the New York Times and said, that's the guy. They said, that's the guy that you saw. And so then I went straight on a straight path to find him. And I went to the same school because he went there. I got in because he went there, because I said, I admire this designer. And then came back to New York at a very young age, got a job through Jules at the Public Theater as a spot operator. And we met, and then a couple of years later, I was Jules's assistant, and for 7 years, and many shows after.
And how many years have we been partners?
Oh, I don't know. Well, we've been working together for 39 and a half years. So probably minus 7, 32 and a half years.
And my side of that is she pursued me and her mother pursued me.
Well, she's not a stage mother. Well, cut that out.
But she brought you every review, and the upshot of it was I hired her as an assistant for those years. And then one day I said, my lighting looks better if you help me. And we became equal partners.
Amazing. And that was my next question. So you went right there. All right. And how did you feel about that when he came and said, let's be equal partners, Peggy?
Well, I think I said, let's be equal partners. Maybe we both sat in the same room at the same moment and said, let's do it, and that was a long time
ago. And it's true.
Yeah.
My work looks better because we're both doing it.
But he's still doing it with us, so.
Sorry.
I have to put in a little bit of that. I had the pleasure of working with both of you also, which is great. And can you name some of the shows that you've designed together?
Yes, together.
Yes.
We've done a number of movies with theatrical lighting in movies.
Okay. You can name some of those too. That would be interesting to us.
Chicago film, Dreamgirls.
School of Rock.
School of Rock, and then recently we just did a new film.
Just about to be released.
Yeah, called Kiss of the Spider Woman, and it's based on a Broadway musical. So we did the major numbers in that are musicalized. That's pretty much.
And we also we have a career in the music industry, both separately and together.
Okay.
Jules, of course, in film did, A Star is Born, the original in film. We worked with Whitney Houston. I've worked with Neil Young for 25 years, a black metal band, Fishbone. Tracy Chapman, I toured with her for 2 years. Jules did the Rolling Stones, Kiss, David Bowie. And then on Broadway, highlights some, noise funk, Angels in America. Keep going.
It just keeps going.
I mean, so
Wow.
I mean, many exciting shows that we did on Broadway together.
Well, they're all in these posters.
Yes,
around
and we
the
are
office.
definitely going to walk down this hallway and get a lot of them.
I often say to people, how many posters that you're looking at do you think we worked on? And the answer is all of them.
Exactly. Can you name some of the awards and recognitions that you've received? I know there have been many.
I mean,
Well,
I was just going to say Tony's.
Well, there's Tony's, the drama desks, everything but the Nobel that I can think of. No, we got a sword from the Knights of Illumination. Honestly, awards are not the goal. Awards are not the premise of why you pursue this craft or this art. We temper the awards idea because they come and they go, they help and they hurt.
We try not
maybe
to
this
use,
is not useful, but
No,
but
that's great.
we try not to use the word won.
we don't win. We don't win. We receive.
Ah, fantastic. I like that.
And-
And I'm glad you said that, Peggy, because in this business, personally for me, I don't want the passion to ever go when you do what you do. When I do what I do, and that to me is what's so special about our business. It's the passion of why you do it and the journey of why you do it.
It's the journey.
Yeah. So
Always.
that's great. One of the reasons that we're here is to get the word out to everyone about what this business has behind the scenes, right? Before the curtain rises, not just everything you see on it, like what goes into it before that happens, right? And the purpose of Black Theater United is to get that out to underrepresented communities to know that there are actually these kind of careers, right? So I'm going to ask you, why do you think diversity in the theater industry is necessary in what we do as an art?
Can I say first?
Please.
It's healthy. I mean, you were getting the diversity of people's minds. We're interested in the art of it. How do you make it beautiful? How do you make it tell the story? And for the most part, lighting is not seen. Part of the goal is that you don't really see the light. You see the actor and his emotions. And so people would not think it's a career. They would say, what did you do? We saw the show. What was your contribution? And it's important to us that it is the journey. And we try not to get beat up during the journey. But we start with all kinds of cheerfulness, and we do everything we can to keep it before it ends.
Yes.
Right.
We're not always successful at that.
Peggy, do you want to add anything?
I would say that my reaction is that I don't think there's anything special about diversity in the theater because there needs to be diversity in everywhere. I don't understand. It's our entire world. It's our entire globe. It's our entire relationships in every walk of life, in every business. And why is the theater different, or why should it be different? But this is what we have to strive for everywhere. And honestly, Jules and I have spent many decades in Black theater, if we can just call it that. And we have been steeped in it. We have an expertise in understanding how to light all skin colors properly in film, on stage, in music industry, and diversity has been completely a part of our backgrounds. So it doesn't seem like, why is this even a question?
Yeah. I hear you.
I mean, it's complicated, but that's where I come from.
Right. Why do you want to be a part of this design initiative that Black Theater United is putting forward?
Go ahead.
Very simply, to do what she just said.
You know, and the other thing is that as we advance in our careers and in our lives and, you know, our separation in ages and things that we want to do, I've been speaking as a thought leader all around the world and trying to communicate what lighting is. And one of the things I think the initiative is trying to say is, what is lighting design?
Yes.
You know, communicating what it is. We get asked this question all the time. What is the most challenging thing that a lighting designer has to deal with? And the number one, hands down, is communicating what it is we do. And so communicating what it is we do, we've been doing for decades.
Right.
And so this is what we're doing with the design initiative. We're communicating what it is we do. For example, Anna Devere Smith inspires me, but she is not providing the inspiration. The inspiration is coming from inside of me. I produce the inspiration. So that ability to, if I can put out some concept, some thought leadership about what our process is, what lighting design is, what's the complexity of it, and maybe that provides some inspiration, or maybe someone can pick some inspiration out of that. That's what we've been doing for decades, and I think it's the same thing we'd like to do with the initiative, is just put it out there and say, what can you pick up from this?
And I have to tell you, I'm sitting here talking to both of you, and I'm learning a lot about what lighting design is, you know, which is fantastic. Is there anything else you want to add? This has been a fantastic conversation, and I think it's going to be very productive and informative for those that are going to watch this.
I would add to the last question, it should be diverse in a manner that any race, religion, color, we would be open to.
Right.
And we are trying to get other people to be open to it, producers. It's only recent, I mean, I guess from Black Lives Matter on, that producers are becoming aware of it. They weren't. I mean, they would, when you'd bring this idea to them, they were unaware that it was a problem.
Yeah.
And it's so important.
Yes.
For so many lives to have a career that you're normally not allowed to work in. This initiative helps get more people to go to school and learn about lighting because they realize they can get a job.
They can get a job, and it can actually be a career. What advice would you give a Black person, a Black child that's looking at, say, a movie or looking at a play or a musical, and they themselves are going, what is that lighting? Like, how do they find out? How do they pursue a path for them to discover what you discovered?
I would add that it's also multiple ways to get in, and it's partially up to your own ambition, desire, and hunger to do this kind of work. And effort. But the ways I'm thinking of, what my path was very different than everyone else's, just because of who I am.
Yes.
I said, I want to do that. I came to New York. I went, knocked on every door. I wrote to every producer when I'd see it. I'd read Variety every week and see a play that's coming in or being produced, and I would pursue them. I'd pursue the director. I'd pursue the producer, and I did this on my own. I didn't go to marketing school.
Right.
I went to a theater school that taught all disciplines, and so the paths are what you make it. I think you have to find your own path. I didn't work for anyone. And that, one of the best paths is to work for someone, to be an assistant to another lighting designer. And many people, that is the path they take. They work with someone good, someone else, another designer, producer, director sees that person working on something. That person can then go to the next play and say, I'm available. I used to come, I worked in summer stock 9 years, every summer, from even when I just started high school. Last year of high school, I went to this Theater Valley Forge Music Fair. And I came back to New York, and I made a file cabinet with a number of, each card was a show that I was pursuing. I found that, so on the card, it would have the producer's name, the director's name, the phone numbers that I sought. And I pursued them. I mean, I was almost like, stop it, kid. You know, we don't need you. But I wouldn't stop. And I did something I don't think anyone else did. I made advertisement. I took an ad in Variety for, you've never seen a design take an ad in Variety. And I also sent out flyers. I made, for 5 years, I made a flyer that I would send to everybody in my file cabinet, plus a few more. And the next show, I'd add more names to that. And I made individual ads that I guess they call it an ad, that I would send to these people I didn't know. But I made the item that I sent to them, a photograph, a mobile, whatever it was, because I thought that would get their attention. And it did. So I don't know where I thought of that, but it just came to me. So there are multiple ways. Yes,
multiple paths.
I mean, all the paths we've already talked about, but also be inventive. Something like this interview will help other people see, hey, there is a place.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Jules and Peggy, for sharing your journey with us. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit our website at blacktheatreunited.com. Black Theater United, creating pipelines for you, the future of our industry.